Hey, what's up guys, Welcome Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the DC Multiverse. This is the Collect and Connect figure for Clayface, and this is Superman. New packaging, hopefully new quality control, better quality and everything like that. So this is hopefully the Rebirth Superman right here, back to his normal self, or the one that we all know. Here is the back. You get all these figures to make Clayface if you choose to do that. So let's open them up. Alright, so here he is out of the box, and he does come with a couple of accessories. First off, he does come with the Collect and Connect for Clayface right here, and it's pretty big, this arm. Man, it's almost as big as him. And pretty unique joint right here, so the elbow joint is pretty flexible, it looks like. It rotates all the way around. It feels pretty good too, even at the wrist as well. So this should be a pretty good build figure if you do choose to build it. Also, he does come with another pair of hands. Flying hands pretty much. They are pretty much straight, as you can see right there. A little warped out of the box, but they get their purpose across right there. And along with the other hands are fist hands on him right now, but if you want to take these off to put on the flying hands, let's just see how hard it is. Pretty decent. So we'll stick this in like that on both hands. And here he is in a flying pose right here. Not that bad, pretty good actually. You could get his back arched a little bit, his head could go up a little bit high as well, so it looks pretty decent overall if you choose to pose him like this. Alright, so taking a look at Superman up close and personal. So this is the new outfit, the new Rebirth Superman. He is the Superman that we all know and love back in the early 2000s and 90s. Basically, this is before all the New 52 stuff. This is the Superman that we know and love. He has a new outfit though. So he looks a little bit bigger, obviously new body sculpt it looks like, or close to it. And he has a new head sculpt as well, so let's take a look at him up close. I will get into some size comparisons and comparisons to some other Superman figures, but more importantly, I love this head sculpt. He's a little bit more mature looking, a little bit older, more sure of himself. The past Superman we had in the past, you know, he was a little bit green, a little bit of a newbie. So this one, you can see his face. He looks more like a stern Superman, which I like a lot. So that's a nice head sculpt right there. The hair looks good. The eyes look pretty good. You see his cheekbones have a little bit of shading on it as well. Nice jawline as well too. Looks pretty good. Not going down. Pretty standard blue outfit. Like that nice S right there is painted on, not sculpted. Going down here, he has a red belt, as you can see right there. A little bit dirty on my figure. I might have to clean that later. Over here on the side, some silver accents on the sleeves. And going down, he does have a red line right here, I guess indicating the boots. But pretty plain, honestly. It's a pretty plain outfit. Nothing spectacular about it, but it gets the job done. And not that bad. Now on the back right here, we do have the S symbol on his cape, which is pretty nice. They stopped doing that for a while, but now we have them back. And it's very clean. I had to say, mine at least is very clean. I think it looks pretty good. The black lines on it as well look really nice, and no complaints here. Alright, so now going to articulation. Now, this is something I was a little bit worried about because I know that DC Multiverse has been steering into a certain direction when it comes to their quality control and also their articulation. More evident when this Batman figure came out, which looks awesome. But I don't like the new joints they had on it. Like, it's like one little peg stuck in to over here, and then there's the hinge over there. It feels like a lot of tension on it, that you feel like you would break that little tiny peg. So I wasn't a big fan of that. However, at least here's a nice size comparison right there for that. But at least of this one, they still have it, but at least in the good places, and in the other places they actually changed it up. So I'll get into it right now for articulation though. Alright, so for articulation, he has a ball jointed head on a hinge. It goes all the way up, which is pretty decent, not bad at all. It doesn't go down that much, pretty much goes straight. Left and right, no problems there. It doesn't really pivot though that much. On the shoulders, it has hinge joints that rotate, so it's pretty good. Pretty firm, not bad, right there. He does have a bicep swivel right here, which is pretty decent. Now over here is that joint I was talking about where it's like a peg on a hinge. Right there. Now this one isn't that bad. It's okay. But I don't know how long I would like this in the long run to keep doing this. This is a little bit more, not as tight, so it's not bad. Over here, he does have a swivel at the wrist. Moving on, now his ab joint. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. a proper ab joint. Now, it's been a long time that DC has been giving us some proper ab joints, so at least in this line and the past one before, they had finally have been improving the ab joints, so that's pretty good right there. Going back is pretty decent as well. Waist swivel, which is nice. T-jointed hips, I believe they're just normal T-jointed hips. So they go about that far up, 90 degrees, which is pretty good. Don't go that far back though, which is fine. Split, 100%. Jeez, that's pretty crazy. Thigh swivel right there. 2 points at the knee, which is fantastic. So that's new right there. Double knee joints right there. No boot swivel, and at the ankle he has a hinge, which is pretty much just a hinge, no rocker, but it's really good. Goes all the way forward, all the way up, so it's pretty nice right there. So, pretty good articulation. Some added stuff, some different stuff, but it's all very accessible, so I think for articulation you'd be really happy. Alright guys, size comparison time. So here we have some Superman figures. Here is the DC Film Superman with a new head right there. This is the DC Unlimited Superman from the new 52 look with a new head right there. And this is the more recent DC Icon Superman right there with the new Rebirth suit right there. So they pretty much match up side by side together. But the size is something really important right here. So he looks pretty good. I like the size of him. A little bit bigger compared to your standard DC Multiverse or DC Classics. I'll do more comparisons later. But he looks good. He should be a little bit bigger, which I like a lot. And more importantly is that head sculpt, that face sculpt. It is just fantastic. He looks like a very, I'm going to say, confident, knows that he is Superman look on him. You know, it's like classic looking, serious looking Superman, which I like a lot. We haven't got that in a long time. And I'm not talking about this classic looking, I'm talking about like old school classic looking. And it looks really good. So I'm pretty happy how he looks. Now this is just a nice close-up right here with the new 52 Superman and the original Superman, I'm going to say that, you know, before they kind of merge together if you read the comic books. But yeah, there they are side by side. Alright, next up right here we have the DC Icons close-up with the new Superman we have. And yeah, so you can see the size difference right there. Not horrible. I mean, Icons tend to be a little bit smaller in general, so there you go. Alright, so once again, here is that new Rebirth Batman figure right here side by side with the Superman one. And then pretty much they're meant to be together, in my opinion. And they look pretty good size-wise. You know, Superman is a little bit bigger, but they're still pretty big figures overall than normal. So there you go. Now for another size comparison, here he is with some Marvel figures. We have the new Iron Man figure right here, which I like a lot. And right here is a nice classic Captain America figure. So he looks pretty good. I like the size right here. So this is a nice size comparison. If I were to use the older DC Multiverse one or the Unlimited one, he might be a little smaller on the small side. This one is a nice size right there. Now I actually brought down his hinge on his ab joint right there because I thought it might look a little weird actually. So if you guys were wondering, so this is with his ab crunch a little bit inward, not all the way though, but more straight. The other one was a little bit more back. So if it looked weird before, so there you go. Alright, next up right here we have him with Wonder Woman and Spider-Man, and I like the size right here. It looks pretty good. You know, they're both skinnier, slimmer people compared to Superman, which is the way it should be. You know, I like the Superman a lot. He has a huge body and huge frame, has a nice big presence, you know, so it looks pretty good. Next up right here we have Superman with the SH Figure Arts Hulk right here, one of my favorite figures of all time, and look pretty good together. You guys watch that epic Superman versus Hulk videos? Man, they're pretty good. The newest one came out like last month, so go check that out if you haven't yet. And next up right here we have Doomsday, because you can't have a size comparison with Superman without Doomsday, and he looks pretty good side by side right here. And for another size comparison, here is the gods. We got Black Adam and Shazam, and I like the size comparison. They're all pretty big guys right here, so they all pretty much match up pretty well. Superman's a little bit taller, maybe like a smidge, than Shazam, which is I'm fine with. He's about the same height, give or take, with Black Adam. So it looks pretty good. Now for another size comparison, here is Batman, and this is a custom. He is actually sporting the old DC Multiverse bodies, just like Black Adam, but a little bit smaller, I think, because of the different boots. But as you can see, this one is pretty much a little bit bigger. As you can see, the difference in frame, the size, and everything like that. So You can see how far this is coming. Maybe the legs are just a little bit longer actually. But yeah, there you go. And just in case you want to see, here's a DC Icons Batman right here, the new Rebirth version. And this one's pretty tall actually, a little bit, not going to say skinnier, but he's a little bit smaller, but it definitely has the height, so you can see how he stacks up with this new Superman figure. Now for another size comparison that I think is really fun. This is Gladiator and Superman. Man, I've been waiting my whole life for this kind of comparison. Now this is a proper Superman and a proper Gladiator figure, and here they are side by side finally. The two Superman of both universes. I know there's like other powerful Marvel people, but Gladiator and Superman growing up for me was a big deal. Alright, so let's get into quality control and wrap this up. So basically, you know, I knew that DC Multiverse was going in a new direction, especially with this wave came out. You know, the figure's a little bit different, a little bit better quality, the joints are a little different though, so I wasn't really sure how I felt about this new one coming out. But I have to say, they improved it. They are getting their, you know, DC Multiverse or Mattel is getting their footing right. It seems like, you know, they're trying to fix some problems here and there, and it definitely shows in my opinion. Joints wise, they are pretty smooth, pretty good. Nothing's tight, nothing's too tight, nothing's stuck, so that's always a good sign right there. They feel pretty good. I love the fact that they have double joints now in some of their figures. I know some of the other figures from this line have that as well. And also, quality wise, I think it's fantastic. Paint is pretty good as well. You do have some shading here and there in the muscles, so you do see that, which is nice. And it's a nice figure. It's nice and classic looking. Now this is a DC Comics look. This is a comic book look, not like a movie look, which I like a lot. You know, I actually do prefer the comic book look a little bit better compared to the movie look of their figures. And it's, you know, it's good. It looks like they pretty much nailed it in my opinion. Like I said before, I like the head sculpt a lot. The hair is fantastic as well. New suit, but you do also get a new body mold, it looks like, so everything is pretty much new here. If I could be wrong though, but it pretty much is new. And it's a little bit refreshing actually. I like it. It's a little bit refreshing, so it's nice to see that DC Multiverse Mattel is going in a new direction, trying new stuff. And you know, their Build-A-Figure looks pretty promising as well, so if you collect that, you might have a lot of fun with it. Alright, so you know, I like this figure. This might be my be-all end-all Superman for a while, it looks like. Nice size, good articulation, good head sculpt. I don't think I had to change anything really. The cape is pretty good too. I didn't talk about it that much. It's a plastic cape, not the softest one we've seen in the past, but it's still pretty good. And I just might leave it, honestly. And that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, leave them below and I will try to answer them. But until then, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!